In this video, I'm going to share with you what equipment I use both off the ice and on the ice. So first off, a lot of people ask me, what am I using when I'm out on the rollerblades? Well, the answer is I have these. These are a frame from off-ice skates. For some reason, they branded their wheels off-ice skating, but the website is officeskates.com, I believe. And if you go on the website, it looks like potentially they're going to scam you and it hasn't been updated in 20 years. But I can confirm that they won't scam you and they're lovely people running the business. Now, I haven't tried any others, but I can say that these are wearing down fast. I've only skated in them for about 3 hours. And I don't know if you can see, but the wheels are all worn down and on a slant. I need to flip them so I can get a bit of use on the other side. And actually the toe pick is worn down to the metal and has chipped away all the metal. But shout out to the people from Off-Ice Skates for sending me some spare wheels and spare toe rakes to replace the ones that have been damaged very quickly. Now, I can't tell you how hard the wheels are or what they're made out of because I haven't actually been able to find this information out. But my guess is they're quite weak because they get destroyed really quickly when I'm skating on them. If anyone has any idea what the quality of these wheels are, please tell me, because for me this is the first pair that I've ever owned in my life. So next up is my skate. My skate here is my old skate actually, and this is an SP Teri Super Deluxe. Now this boot is a very heavy duty boot. It is made entirely of leather. It doesn't smell so good anymore because these skates are 5 years old. I've been doing shows in these for 5 years. I recently stopped last year from using them because they got pretty damaged. It wasn't so much they were too weak, it was this rip down the back of my skates started growing and getting further down, and I was worried that they wouldn't last another year. But I've mounted these rollers onto the bottom of them and they're still going strong now. So I went for these boots mainly because I do a lot of lifts with my partner. And the guy that taught me how to do the lifts, he said, get these boots, it'll feel like you stick your feet in 2 bricks and they're not going anywhere. And you know what? He was right. But there's a downside to them, and that is they are very heavy. And these frames are also very heavy. So overall, I weighed both my skates and they come in at around 6 kilos. And 6 kilos is pretty heavy by ice skating standards. And I think my on-ice setup of Risport with gold seal blades, they weigh under 3 kilos put together. So this is over double the weight of what my normal ice skates weigh. At the moment, I'm definitely looking for something lighter to try out, some different wheels, some different frames, some different equipment. I want to try something different, lighter, faster, more mobile, less cumbersome. So I'll let you know when I find something. Now, the reason I like this SP Teri boot so much is that it is made entirely out of leather. There is no plastic or anything else in them whatsoever. Now, a lot of the lighter brand boots, they are made with plastic inside them. So if we look, for example, at a pair of faulty Risports that I have, and I actually cut the back of these down with a scalpel just to practice cutting boots down at the back, because it's difficult to find people that'll do that for you. You can actually see in there that there's just layers and layers of hard plastic in there. Maybe it's fiberglass or something like this, I'm not too sure, and a lot of sponge. So they are really hard like this, but there's a downside to it, and that is when you're skating, once you crack the material inside there, suddenly, like this, the boot is just dead, completely gone. Whereas with the leather boots like this, yes, they might rip after 5 years, but they break down very gradually. So it's not one day everything's fine and the next day, bang, I can't skate anymore because it's smashed. So that was why, in terms of doing shows regularly every single day for years, this was a very reliable boot for me. So for my ice skates, obviously I like the SP Teri Super Deluxe a lot. It's been amazing for me. So I ordered another pair and I got a pair of these. They're new designs, supposed to be better, but in actuality, they were the most excruciatingly uncomfortable skate I've ever skated in my life. They got to the point where they were so bad, I had to perform shows with 1 foot in my old skate and 1 foot in a new skate because I couldn't bear having both of them on at the same time. They are just crushingly painful, and no matter what I did to make it more comfortable, it just didn't work. So this skate I ended up throwing to the side and going back to a pair of old Risports I had in my cupboard. So my current on-ice setup is this, a Risport dance skate with a gold seal blade. Now, I went for the Risport boot because my cupboard is full of them. Shout out to Risport for sponsoring my competitive career. Now, I'm an ice dancer, So typically I don't need to skate in a freestyle blade, but you know what I do now in shows is a lot of adagio lifts where you're lifting the girl up over your head, so you want stability, and a long blade will give you great stability. I used to try doing it in a shorter dance blade like this, but this shorter blade doesn't have as much stability towards the back, so when you're bending down to throw someone over your head, it's very easy to rock back and lose your balance, and with a freestyle blade that isn't an issue. And on top of that, the freestyle blade is actually thicker than the dance blade, so when you're trying to spin a lift with a girl over your head, it's much easier to balance. When I was competing in ice dance, I used to use these Risport dance with a Jackson dance blade on them. Now most people, well not most, a lot of people use MK dance blades, but I absolutely hated MK dance blades, and the reason is they have these flat toe picks on the end there. I'm not sure what purpose they're supposed to fulfill, but I found that every time I hit them I went straight on my nose, and I thought, well, I don't like this at all, but a lot of people do. So I went for the Jackson dance blades, and you can see they have 3 spikes on the front there. Never had this problem ever again, so I was really happy with these. Final note on my skates here, my Risport dance skates, is although it says dance in the name, they're actually pretty strong skates. These are very broken down, but they are very strong skates, and the main difference between them and the freestyle ones is they are cut down at the back, allowing you to point your toe and get a better line. Now that doesn't mean you can't still jump in them. I can do a full set of doubles with them, and I know a lot of girls in shows who actually cut their freestyle boots down the back so they can point their toes better, and they still do triples in their skates, so it isn't make or break how high they are at the back to do your jumps in them. So that is my equipment that I'm using at the moment. As I said before, I'm looking to change this to something lighter and more maneuverable. And my partner Anastasia, she is skating with a Risport dance boot in beige color with the same wheels as me attached to the bottom, and on the ice she is using an MK dance blade. She really likes those. I didn't get on with them, but she absolutely loves them. So that's what equipment I use. I'm interested to hear what you use, if it's rollerblades or roller skates, what type of boot are they, what type of frames are they, if they're ice skates, what brand you go with, what blades you go with. Let me know all this in the comments below. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and check out our Patreon page for even more content.